Today I'm ranking every Yu-Gi-Oh wheel card on a tier list to figure out which wheel is the best. Alright, so we have 36 wheel-based cards to rank today. Now these are all the cards that either have a wheel in their title or text, or like roulette in their title or text, as well as a bunch of cards that me and chat decided sort of embody the spirit of wheels. So we have things that spin, we have things that are discs. I don't think, and I really do stand by this, I do not think cards that are spheres or balls count as wheels. A wheel is like a crushed cylinder, not a ball. Does this make sense? I'm a wheel expert, just trust me. So we're gonna rank these cards, go through, and our categories here are wheelie great. Ryan, can you put the good, all right, and then flat tire. Honestly, we can call this one square. Something so bad that it's not even a wheel. No, I would never do that. I would never. These are all approved wheels. We're gonna rank these today based on a few different factors. The big one is that we're going to talk about the artwork. How does the artwork feature a wheel or wheels? But also I wanna take a look at the text on the card effects and see if the effects embody a wheel at all. So things that have good artwork and relevant effect text are going to go to the top of the ranking. Now, of course, there is only one way to decide how we go through these cards, and you already know it. It's a wheel. We're gonna spin a wheel. So here we go. 36 cards, and there might be some weird ones on there, but don't worry, I'll explain them. First up, Edge Imp Saw. So Edge Imp Saw is on here because it is a circular saw that, you know, goes like this. I will say though, the effect doesn't really remind me of a wheel at all. And honestly, when you look at this artwork, it's a little bit difficult to tell at first that it is a circular saw. I know it's like literally called saw, but it seems kind of confusing. And I feel like this card, despite being a circle, doesn't really have those wheel attributes that I'm looking for. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it in the flat tire category. Sorry, Edge Imp Saw. Pyro Clock of Destiny. We had this debate about whether or not clocks are wheels. I think for our purposes, they're close enough. You know, they spin and they're circular, not a ball. You get the idea. I think that Pyro Clock of Destiny, first off, the artwork, the only thing in the artwork is the clock itself. It's very prominent in it. And I will say that the effect does remind me of a wheel because it spins the turn counter forward. And I think for that reason, even though it's not like a true wheel, I do have to give it some props, and I am actually going to put this one in the good category. That is an effect that really reminds me of a wheel spinning. Yugioh. Okay. So we had a debate about whether or not gears are wheels, and I didn't want to put like a whole bunch of gear cards on here, but I think Yugioh works because it's almost entirely gears. And what's a gear if not a wheel with notches on it, right? So Yugioh, I mean, not only is his body a gear, but also his guts are gears too. So I feel like he's just a wheel, right? I mean, of all the gear cards out there, I feel like this is the most wheel-like. And for that reason, even though it's a gear, I will put him in the good category. Although he doesn't really have an effect that reminds me, we'll put him in all right. Next up, Roulette Barrel, classic. This card actually has two different artworks. I think the OCG artwork is better, especially in terms of making it look like a roulette. It can actually be a little easy to overlook the roulette part of the artwork on the TCG version of the card. However, I mean, this is a classic wheel. We were playing with this card way back in the day. I remember using this card a lot in the playground as a kid. Holy shit, I'm old. But I think that Roulette Barrel is a perfect wheel card. Not only is the wheel the main part of the artwork and the name, but also the effect is wheel based. It spins a wheel in the only way that you can really do that in Yu-Gi-Oh, which is rolling a die. So I think Roulette Barrel is like the pinnacle of what a wheel Yu-Gi-Oh card should be. And I am an expert. The quintessential wheel, if you will. If you... Keep it going. Mekk Knight Indigo Eclipse. This might be a surprising inclusion because it doesn't like actually have a wheel, but if you look in the artwork, its entire body is a big wheel, and I can picture the attack sort of spinning like a wheel as well. Not only that, but we have to give it credit because Move Man does move, and you know what else moves? Wheels. It's a wheel video. That's always going to be the answer. So I think for that reason, like, I don't know if I can put it in the highest category because it doesn't literally have a wheel on it, but I do have to acknowledge the nice circular form as well as an effect that does move it around the board like a wheel might do. We got to put it in the good category. Roulette Spider. So this is the other Roulette card. There's only 2 of them. This one's pretty straightforward. It has Roulette in the title, it has Roulette in the artwork, and the effect is sort of random, just like a wheel would be. So naturally, it's gonna go in S tier right alongside Roulette Barrel. RGB Rainbow Lucian. Now you might not think about this card when you think about wheels, but it actually does feature a wheel in the artwork. Scrap Kong has a wheel on its chest, but also like outside of the literal wheel, it's kind of like his entire chest is a wheel as well. So I think that this card, you know, does deserve to be on the tier list. I think it did prove itself, even though when someone first told me about it, I was a little bit confused how it fit in. That being said, its effect isn't really wheel-like. If it randomly picked an attribute, then I think it would be pretty wheel-like, but because it gets to be all of the attributes, I don't think that's quite what a wheel should do. For that reason, I am going to put it just in the all right category. It's a wheel, but not wheelie. It's a wheel, okay, but it's not like crazy. Ooh, Shafu, the wheeled Mayakashi. This is a tough one because it's like, oh, the wheeled Mayakashi, of course it would be ranked high. But then you look at the artwork and it's like, Shafu is taking up all of the attention. The wheels are like an afterthought in the background, and that kind of pisses me off. So I'm actually gonna put this one right into the flat tire category. Just not a fan of how the wheel is sort of a back afterthought, and I think it should be more prominently displayed. Kasha. Okay, so this is kind of in the same category, actually. It's another zombie monster, but there's a difference. The difference is that if you pull up this card, the first thing you notice, and maybe even the coolest thing on the artwork, are these huge fire wheels. I know this card isn't like a true wheel card, but I really wanted to include it on the list because those fire wheels are just sick. I mean, they really are. So I am actually going to put this card in the good category. I like Kasha. I think it's a cool card, and I think it really prominently features those wheels. This card's effect, in case you don't know it, like shuffles cards on the field into the deck, and then it gains attack based on how many cards are shuffled. When I read that ability, I really just understood it as those are cards that are being used as fuel for the fire on the wheels. Is that right? I don't know, but it sounds right. And for that reason, it's a good wheel card. It looks great. It has a wheel effect. I like Kasha a lot. Let's keep it going. Reversal of Fate, Arcana Force card. Okay, so Reversal of Fate is just a roulette table with eyeballs, which I think, you know, might initially make it sound like it should be in a high category. But one thing that I don't like about this card is that it chooses your outcomes going forward for Arcana Force monsters, which first off, don't deal with like dice. They deal with coin flips, which are not wheels. Those are coin flips. And also like, I don't know, the spirit of a wheel is not picking where it lands. It's the excitement in, you know, watching it spin around and going off of that. So for that reason, you know, I'm not going to put it too low because it is like a roulette table, but I think I can only put it in all right. Speedroid Wheel. This is a super great wheel card, if not one of the best ones. I'm going to put it right up to the S tier wheelie great because it has a really nice wheel in the artwork, maybe one of the highest detailed wheels as far as roulette wheels go in Yu-Gi-Oh! And also the effect is perfect. It's random, it has a fun payoff. I think that this is, right up here with the roulette cards, this is what a wheel should be. Combat Wheel. This is a card that I didn't even know existed despite it being a wheel, which is pretty rare for me. I don't actually have this card in Master Duel, but when I saw it, my head went a few different directions. Yes, its name is Wheel, and yes, it is a monster that basically is just a guy attached to a wheel, but there's a couple things wrong with it. First off, you can barely see the wheel in the artwork. The guy has taken like all of the sort of space in the frame, which is kind of bad considering like wheel is the main focus in here, or at least it should be the main focus. Also, the effect is not even remotely wheel related. So this one, despite being, literally named Combat Wheel, I feel bad putting him in flat tire because like, it's not on the level of this stupid Mayakashi, but I will put it in the all right category, like the lowest spot in the all right category. Gemini's Lord Goal Knight. Yeah, so this is a random Gemini monster, and the reason that I put it on the list is because I want to cosplay as this character. He has all sorts of wheels, and I think that he's just a cool guy and seems like he'd be fun to hang out with. Unfortunately, despite great artwork, his effect isn't even mildly related to wheels, so for that reason, I'm going to have to put him in the... God, that really pains me to put him in all right. I feel like he's at the bottom of good or the top of all right. I'll put him at the top of all right. I think I'm okay with that. Okay, let's just knock out both of these Psychroids right now, Parapsychroid and regular Psychroid. It was a really hard decision not talking about every motorcycle card or every car card because of course those do have wheels. But I think with these ones in particular, the wheels are so integral to their existence that I wanted to include them. Not to mention that Psychroid does actually mention wheel in its text. So I think that, qualifies these cards to be ranked. That being said, I think these cards are cool. I'm a big fan of Psychroid. If you've watched, what season of Saga was that? I don't know, but I summoned this card with Unexpected Die a few times, and I think these cards are good wheel ambassadors. Maybe not so much that they're in the wheelie great category, but I am going to put these straight to the top of the good category. I like these cards a lot. That 6. This actually encompasses a couple of them, so let's talk about that. So this card is on here because it features Dangerous Machine Type 6 in the background, so we'll just talk about both of those right now. Is Dangerous Machine a wheel? Many philosophers have debated this for a long time. I personally think it does look enough like a wheel to be categorized as a wheel. How many times have I said wheel this video? I can't say it's like my favorite wheel, and the card that just came up, the Dice It, really goes against the thought of a wheel because that's the card that lets you choose how the rolls go. So for that reason, I am actually going to put, I'm going to put the Dangerous Machine into the all right category. I think this card makes it in here because its effect is wheel based. It's completely random. It has 6 different options. That's basically a wheel to me. I'm going to put this above. I don't know if it beats Giorgano. I'll put it right there. But for that 6, I'm going to put in the flat tire category. That is not in the spirit of a wheel. Okay, so this is our second clock card. Well, second and third clock card will sort of combine Time Wizard and Time Wizard of Tomorrow. Yeah, I think these cards are fun, and they do involve a random effect. Now, I know earlier I said that coin tosses with Reversal of Fate didn't really count as wheel effects, but that's because it's deciding the outcomes for you. I feel like with the Time Wizards, because they're so random, they really do embody what a wheel should be in that they, you don't know what's gonna happen until it starts rolling. Anyway, I think these cards are all right. I don't think they're like crazy cool. I am willing to put them at the top of the all right category though, because I feel like the wheel, you know, the spirit of the wheel is part of them for sure. And also, God, does this make them go up a category? They're played by Joey Wheeler. How much weight are we putting on that? A lot? A lot? They literally spin a wheel for the effect in the anime. All right, I'll put him in the good category. I'll put him in the bottom of the good category because I feel like a clock is a little bit of a stretch for a wheel, even though I have 3 clocks in the good category. But yeah, Joey Wheeler will bump him from all right to good. Okay, we'll just get through all the clocks right now. Clock resonator, I'm not a huge fan of. The effect is like not even related to a wheel in any way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't even know. This card shouldn't even be on here. Let's just put that in the flat tire category. Fuck you. I don't know why I hate him so much. Destiny Hero Dasher. We have 2 different Destiny heroes, and we'll talk about the other one in a moment, but I think that Dasher is the better of the 2, at least in terms of this tier list. Dasher's artwork very prominently features the wheels in it. Actually, Dasher himself is dashing away from the camera while the wheels are the main focus. We even kind of have like a Fibonacci spiral going on there where the wheels are really in the right positions for your eye to focus on them. Dasher's effect is also related to wheels. He attacks and then he spins to defense mode, you know, like a wheel. So I think Dasher deserves to be pretty high on here. I really do like Dasher. I like the effect. I like the artwork. Let's put him in S tier, baby. Okay. This might be a controversial one to include on the tier list, but I had to. Spinning's artwork is very wheel-like. He is literally spinning in a circle, and I feel like that's why I put him on the list. But if we're being completely honest, I can't really say he's a wheel in effect. So I think for that reason, despite loving Salamangreat Spinny, I will put him at the top of the flat tire category because he's not like a crime like these other ones, but I think he's just not quite wheel enough for all right or higher. We're getting through here. Psychic Wielder. I hope this isn't too controversial because Psychic Wielder's effect doesn't relate to wheels, but I feel like between the name and that incredible artwork, God, I don't want to put him in S tier. That might be a little too high. I will actually put him at the top of good tier though. I feel like Psychic Wielder is a great wheel mascot, even if its effect doesn't quite fit into the wheel category. Ring of Destruction. Yeah, so there's a lot of rings that people wanted me to put on here. I don't know if a ring is really a wheel, but so many people asked about Ring of Destruction that I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, I mean, I hate to be like this, you guys. I put it on the list, but I feel like this is like bottom tier. I don't even think a ring is a wheel. I don't know if I would say it's the worst wheel card because these 3 are just, I hate them. Yeah, we'll put them right there. These 3 right here are like the least good wheels on the list. This isn't the only yo-yo card in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I wanted to include this one because not only is it a Speedroid, so it goes with the Speedroid wheel, but also, I mean, look at that artwork. It's so good. It features 2 huge spinning green wheels right in the front. And also, a yo-yo is a wheel on a string if you don't think about it too hard, but you think about it a little bit. So I think that yo-yos do fall in the category of a wheel. Also, I feel like this card's effect really goes along with what a yo-yo is in real life. A yo-yo is a wheel that you throw. Is that what you call it? I don't know. You throw out there and then it returns to you. This card revives a monster from your grave when you summon it, which is basically returning it to the field just like a yo-yo would return back to you. So I think that this is a pretty good wheel card. It's a little bit unassuming. I am actually going to put it in the good category, and I'm going to put it pretty high. Yeah, I'm going to put it pretty high. I think Speedroid Yo-Yo is a good wheel. Double wheel, by the way. Double wheel. Wheel Synchron is essentially Yusei's 5D's dual runner, but it's a guy. I like this guy. I think the artwork really does convey a sense of speed, which is nice for wheels. You want wheels to go fast. And also you can see both of the wheels very easily on here. And, you know, it's its name. This is literally the Wheel Synchron. Unfortunately, its effect isn't really based on a wheel, even a little bit, but it's like the artwork is so good and the name is good too. It is the Wheel Synchron. I am, despite the effect not being wheel related, I am going to put this in the good category above. No, not Pyro Clock of Destiny. I really feel like Pyro Clock of Destiny is a sleeper pick because the moving the turn count forward 1 is just a really nice way to rotate a wheel, you know, in a card game. And also, if you had a clock, you could roll it like a wheel. I mean, pull down the clock in your house. Do people have clocks? I don't know the last time I was in a house that had like a clock that wasn't digital. But go spin the clocks in your house and you'll see that they're wheels. Wow, we do not have that many left. Metal Foes Gold Driver. So like I said a while ago, I wasn't going to include every single vehicle card because there's way too many of those, but Gold Driver says that gleaming golden buggy breaks bad guys good. What wonderful wheels with a bumbling buffoon. Okay, so a few things here. I think that the wonderful wheels in the text really does go well with the artwork because those wheels do look wonderful. Also, this guy's doing the Akira slide. I think at this point, the Akira slide is like a little overplayed, but I can't deny that when this card was released, which was like a decade ago, holy shit, I'm old. I think this card is cool. It has wonderful wheels. I don't think this slide like takes away from it at all. And while the effect isn't like really wheel based, I can't deny those wonderful wheels. I don't know if I want to put that ahead of Move Man, but I will put it in the good category. Yeah. What do we got? Oh, okay. I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering why this guy has been on here. Let me explain. Avion's flavor text reads a winged elemental hero who wheels through the sky and manipulates the wind. So that is why he is on here. I typed wheel and then he popped up. But also, while that might sound like unnecessary to include him on this list, pull up that artwork for Feather Wind because that is Avion's like attack. And I gotta say, you guys, Feather Wind is like, it's spinning like a wheel. Like, I actually was very surprised here. I can picture Avion going through the sky like a wheel, you know. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a wheel. That's so but you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So I think Avion, despite like not really being a wheel, he is embodying a wheel. He's wheeling through life, much like I am. That's kind of how I take my life. That's what people say when I'm walking around. They're like, that guy's wheeling. Anyway, I'm gonna put Avion at the top of all right. Yeah, not a full-time wheel, just a part-time wheel. Nightmare Wheel. The Nightmare Wheel is terrifying. This card like gave me nightmares as a kid, no pun intended. But it is a wheel. It's actually a very like well-developed, well-designed wheel torture device. I've never really looked at this card's artwork super closely because I was too scared of it. But like, holy shit, this guy is going to get shredded. Like, are you seeing this? He's gonna get like ripped apart by those teeth. That is terrifying. I can't say for sure if the effect is really like a wheel, but I mean, it's Nightmare Wheel. It's iconic. This has to be in the good category. Let's put it right there. Let's put it behind Move Man. I feel like Move Man really does move like a man that has wheels. This is a well-designed wheel card. I mean, we can't deny that. It has a wheel in the artwork, it has a wheel in the name, and its effect switches attack and defense, which I think, you know, works like a wheel, especially with a Ferris wheel in particular, because we could see like attack is at the top of the wheel, and then you turn around and you're at the bottom, and that's defense. I don't fucking know. But I think this card deserves to be pretty damn high on this list. No, I think I gotta put it in the Wheelie Great. It has a good name, it has good art, it has good text. It's Wheelie Great, yeah. Controversial inclusion. Controversial inclusion on this list, Doom Donuts. Doom Donuts does look like a wheel, but its effect is like anti-wheel because it destroys things that have 0 attack and defense, which if you think about it, 0 looks like a wheel. So this is like an anti-wheel? Yeah, it's just an anti-wheel. I don't know what else to say. Flat tire. No. Clock Resonator is still lower. Fuck Clock Resonator. The other Destiny hero, Disc Commander. There were a lot of Disc cards, but I feel like Disc Commander is the one that I wanted to include here because he's like covered in discs. That is all he is known for. His friends don't even know his name. They just call him Disc Guy. And I just feel like this guy is close enough to the wheels to make it on this list. I'm not going to put him very high. I'll put him, I don't know, I feel bad, but we'll put him behind Spinny. That's fine, yeah. He's not quite wheel enough for the rest of the list. If discs are thicker, they're definitely wheels. Yeah, and if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. Yep. Okay, 4 left. Dang. Wheel of Prophecy. This one pisses me off, though. I'll tell you why. The wheel they're referring to is his big shield, which isn't a fucking wheel, dude. I know that I've said clocks and saws and rings are wheels in this video. Well, no, the ring is not a wheel. A shield is not a wheel. That's just a shield. I don't care if you spin it. It's still not a wheel. This card's effect is like, it shuffles and moves stuff around, so I'll give it that, and it does have wheel in the name. Some people might say you should put it at the lower end of good because it's more of a wheel than some of these other cards. I know people are not liking this Time Wizard take here, but this guy just doesn't sit right with me. We'll put him in all right. I can't deny his wheelness, but he's just not a wheel to me. Sorry. 3 left. Oboro Gurama, the Wheeled Mayakashi. Now you might think I'm going to put this guy in the same category as the other Mayakashi because he is just like the synchro version of that card. But kind of like the Kasha from earlier, he has some like spinning fire wheels. I'll put this guy all right. Not too high though. Yeah, a little bit higher than his older form, but not crazy. But the fire on the wheel, you know, does give it a little bit of a boost. 2 left. Chosen One. This is a super old card. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. I kind of remembered it from when I was a kid, but honestly, it was a little bit of a surprise. This was a card that someone in chat gave me, so I actually didn't really think about it. It has a wheel in the artwork. It is completely random with its effect. I think this deserves to be up on here. Like, I think this is in good somewhere. I mean, probably more. Like, I even like that this card, the random effect isn't even like a dice or anything. It is like a true random, like you pick 3 cards and then something happens with one of them. So it's like, you could even hypothetically, when you pick those 3 cards, you could put them in like a wheel. Okay, that looks like a triangle, but if you zoom out enough, you know, you can connect. I'll put him ahead of Time Wizard, but it's not a... Oh, man, that is actually kind of tough. I'll put it there. I think that's fine. All right, last spin. Dice It. So I actually thought this card was another one that had Dangerous Machine type 6, but that's not the case. It has a totally unique wheel in the artwork, and it has a random effect, and I like that. So I think this is actually a really good wheel card. Let's put that, dare I say? Let's put that right to the top score. Yeah, I think that is a good wheel card. It doesn't have wheel in the name, but the effect is wheel and the art is wheel. I think it's good. Yeah, let's wheel it up. Some people were asking if like a slot machine counts as a wheel because technically like the slots are like kind of wheels going around. I think we could like argue all day about a lot of things being wheels or not, but because the slot machine hides the side of the wheel, like if you saw a slot machine and you had never seen a wheel before, would you be like, oh, I bet there's something circular in there? Do you think anyone else in history has said the sentence that I just did? Okay, so let's take a look at this. Are we gonna move anything around now that we see everything on here? Okay, I'm gonna make an adjustment. I'm going to make an adjustment now that we see all these. I think Wheel of Prophecy can go lower. I think Time Wizard, as much as I like it, I'm going to put him at the top of the all right category. And you know what? You guys have convinced me. I'm not going to put it super high, but I will move the Spinny out of the flat tire category. Yeah, it's just not enough of a wheel to like really put it up here, but I'll at least move it to the all right. I think that's reasonable. Other than that, though, I'm pretty happy with how the rankings went. Let me know in the comments how you would have ranked these wheels. You know, I know there's a lot of wheel enthusiasts out there watching the Dzeeff channel, so let me know if you would have changed anything on here. If I missed a wheel card that you really felt like I should have ranked, let me know in the comments and I will try to reply to them and let you know where I would have put it on the tier list. But I think in general we covered the main wheel cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Hopefully you guys enjoyed this silly little video before the end of the year. You know, I just thought it'd be kind of a fun thing to do. I'll catch you guys later though. Bye. A coin is shaped like a wheel? Dude, there's wheels everywhere for those that see. Pretty big deal. Pretty big wheel. I'm having fun, and that's what's important. This might be the worst video I've ever made, but, you know.